Before.
There we go. We're live. I need to make us a Degenerate Gamblers intro with our song and our Homer
Where
Simpson.
are you, Brian?
I'm in the whale's vagina, man.
A different place. Different
Yeah.
background.
I don't like to do it, but sometimes it has to be done. But yeah, I'm down here in San Diego. It's a nice house. It's an Airbnb with like a couple of Sandy's friends in Minnesota. There's a hot tub and a pool in the back. I'm looking forward to using both. It's going to be a good time.
Huh.
Gonna go to my buddy Boomer's bar and watch the Eagles tonight. Not gonna bet on them since they cost me money last week, beating the Panthers like a bunch of fucking assholes, blocking a kick. Otherwise they would have won, or they'd have lost, and I would have won money. And now I gotta watch these idiots play, knowing they're gonna suck all season. I just want them to lose out. Get Jalen Hurts out of there.
Dude, there are no good quarterbacks in the draft.
Sean
Well, we got
Clifford,
3 picks.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
He can come
we can
back.
shore up anything.
He's not. No, there's no way they're gonna let him come back. It'll be
Why not?
6 years.
Have you seen the
Another
trash
year of
behind us?
eligibility. Did you watch the game on Saturday, Odie?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah, it's
horrible.
gonna be. They're gonna the true freshman. The guy, the 5-star they're bringing in is gonna start.
I watched him once on TV. He looks good for a high school player. I don't know about playing in the Big Ten in a
There
year.
we go.
That would be ridiculous.
They could bring in a transfer. The only reason they couldn't bring in a transfer this year is because nobody wanted to sit behind Clifford.
How the fuck did we not get Tua Tagovailoa, or not Tua, but Tua's little brother who went to
He's
Maryland?
fucking
of all
overrated.
places?
He's overrated.
Well,
He's nothing special.
so you're telling me Sean Clifford's not overrated? You're telling me the fucking half
Sean
that's
Clifford-
sitting behind Sean Clifford's not
Is he-
overrated?
First of all, Sean Clifford is definitely not overrated because everybody hates him, and it's only like the last 3
Not
games
the
that he's been
Heisman
good.
Committee. They love him. He would be running away with it today. If he had not gotten knocked out in that game, he would be running away with it because we would have 100%. Is there any doubt we would have beat Iowa easily?
blew him
if he didn't
out.
get knocked out.
Even
Fucking
me,
pisses
who
me
never
the fuck
believes in anything, I'm like, oh, Iowa sucks. Like,
They're horrible.
This,
And now
this
they're
game
like
is
number
no
2.
problem.
It's ridiculous.
Is there any team you hate more than Iowa right now in the Big Ten? I cannot
No.
stand their fucking deluded fan base. They might be the biggest bunch of assholes.
The fact that they rushed the field after barely beating a horrible backup quarterback after they're getting blown out by our starter makes me furious.
It took them like 8 3-and-outs by a kid who shouldn't be playing college football to finally claw back into the game and take the lead. It's like, you are fucking pathetic. And they act like, oh, well, we were going to come back. At like, well, Penn State had like 200 yards through barely a quarter against your vaunted defense. And just the first interception was pretty bad. The second interception probably just got hung up in the wind or something. I'm not sure what happened with it. Even then, 3 scoring drives. And I'm like, Iowa's terrible. They had nothing.
Yep.
You think Purdue beats them this week? How funny would that be?
I really would love to play Iowa again, but we're not making a Big Ten title game. But they're going to get destroyed by whoever. If they play Ohio State, Ohio State's going to put 55 on them.
So
That's
Mark's
no
watching
doubt.
this, but I don't know what he's talking about. He just typed in, no, I'm not. Huh? What?
It means that it's saying that he is live because it's doing that.
Oh.
She's not live, which is going to do that for my interview later today. So whatever, it just happens.
He should be flattered. He should be flattered to get the attention.
Yeah. And nobody
Anyway.
watches his lives, so maybe they'll watch his lives if we go
That's
live.
true. That's true. It's the best thing he's got going for him. Should I? Yeah, I know. Rico never uses his mic. Should I retell? I think I need to, because not everybody listens to the boring podcast, but retell my story, my ball sack
Fuck
story
those
from
people.
last night.
Yeah,
story?
tell them.
I'll tell
Tell
them
them
real quick.
like
and the
three,
bonus,
3/4 of it, and then don't tell them the
then
last part.
the punchline.
They got to
listen
tune
the
in
boring
to
show
hear
for.
that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I will give them a tidbit on here, which is that, so I went to Jason Stapleton's wedding, missed the reception, or missed the wedding because of the 2-hour flight delay, got there in time for the reception, and, got all fucked up and drunk, and I'm talking to people, and at some point in the night, I must have been talking to somebody, and most of the crowd I talked to was oddly either libertarian or conservative, But knowing Nancy, who's like from West Hollywood and from the Bay Area before that, had to be a lot of people that were very liberal. And apparently somebody had overheard me talk about something, and their takeaway was that I was clearly racist and hated black people. So that's a good one. Good benefit.
It's a common takeaway from hearing a libertarian talk. They automatically
really
assume you're a huge racist.
Automatically assume you're racist because you're talking about outcomes rather than equity. So that cracked me up because I didn't remember what I possibly could have said that was specifically about black people, which I don't think anything was, but who knows. And then all the gays loved me, right? I'm always candy to the gays, but this one chick, Erin, who was like one of Nancy's best friends, hated my fucking ass so much. Like, you know when people just, you can feel the seething hatred out of them with every single thing they do? Like, I'll say something innocuous and she'll just give me this like the snake gas face from the side, just like that happened about 25 times over the course of one night. And it was the day after the reception when I was all hungover. Went to watch the Eagles fuck me by winning, which pissed me off royally. Then I was hungover, went to the pool, and after that we went out drinking for like hours and hours. We went to Cheesecake Factory. First time I've ever been to the Cheesecake Factory. Had several espresso.
Cheesecake Factory?
I've never been to any Cheesecake Factory. I'd take out one time. That was it.
What was your impression of the size of the menu?
It's daunting, and the restaurant was huge. It was in like, I don't know, the basement. We all those weird basement walkways in Vegas. And Caesars has one too, the Promenade or something. And it was like 2-story, massive
Yeah,
building.
they're way too big. I think that's why they went through bankruptcy last year.
Probably.
Their rent is too damn high.
Atrocious. The rent is too damn high.
Well, that's why Baker Mayfield meets his ladies back there for the blowjobs.
Exactly.
Large building, blocks the view.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Well, the one good thing about this restaurant, though, was that it had a wonderful bathroom to take a picture of your balls in. And I had to do that because people on this show will know I had my balls bitten by my dog. He ripped them open. I had them stitched shut, but there's a triangular 90-degree shaped scar on my balls.
Yeah, and you think Brian would learn not to put peanut butter on his balls and have his dog lick it off, but he still does it. So
I did now, which is why I have
No
so
matter
many
how
scars on
many
my
times you
asshole.
tell 'em.
And so I got scars deep inside of my rectum now. Anyway, I'm telling you guys the ball sack story, and they're all like, well, we want to see it. And I said, oh, I'll go take a picture. That's not a problem. And I'm, fucked up. Go take a picture of my balls in the bathroom, bring it down, wow the crowd, show them the constellation of the ball scar, and then go about my day. But I'm talking, hitting it off with this gay couple, right? They got stuck there for 2 more days after I left. But one of the gay couple, one of the husbands, is the guy that later on we're palling around, talking. His husband goes to bed, and then we're up drinking and gambling. And then I'm like, all right, man, peace out. And he's like, well, we're not going to go anywhere. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go to bed. Because I could kind of sense what's going on here, what the next step's going to be. So I'm like, all right, man, I got to go to bed. Get back to my hotel room, and I'm lying in bed, and he texts, what are you up to? And I'm like, I'm in bed. I'm going to go to sleep now. And he goes, send me more pictures of your balls. And that's when I said, you're drunk. No more balls for you. These balls are only for scar showing, not for gay jerking. And made a friend for life, though, that guy. Rico, I can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, yeah. You think he was going to put the moves on you?
Oh, he 100% wanted to. There's not even a question. So there's that. Let's see. What else happened? There was another dude, an Eagles fan there, who I saw have a almost breakdown because he was so drunk. And he's like, I've always wanted a leather jacket. And he goes into a store and he buys a leather jacket in Vegas, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I told him, don't do it. You're an idiot. But he went into an expensive store, bought a letter jacket. I don't even want to think about what it must have cost him.
Holy
$2,000
shit,
easily.
$1,000 leather jacket?
Easily. And he comes out and he's like, how does it look? He's like, do you like the collar or not? The collar, blah, blah. I'm like, it's fine, man. So then we go to the casino. He bought it. Yeah, he bought it. And then I was like, oh, let me try it on. I was trying to want to see what I look like in a leather jacket. He's like, all right, take a picture of you. And he goes, oh God, you're going to look better in it than I am. He's like, you look totally better than I do in it. And he's like losing his fucking mind over the fact that I look better in this jacket because he just paid.
Is this one of Stapleton's friends?
Yeah, I either one or Nancy's friends. I actually like the guy. He was a cool dude. But yeah, he was so drunk at this point. It was just fucking a lunatic. A leather-bound lunatic.
You know, if he's one of Jason's friends, maybe he has all that wealth, power, and influence. He has enough money to spend 100% more for Vegas leather jackets.
Yeah, true. And I think he banged the girl that hated my ass that night. Pretty sure.
Well, joke's on her.
Yeah, now she's got the AIDS, so there you go.
You drinking whiskey already?
AIDS. Yeah, I had a beer at lunch. I mean, what else am I going to do?
All right, well, that's going to be an interesting night. 2:40 on the West Coast. No
I'm
time like that to
I'm
drink
on vacation
whiskey.
now.
As opposed to what?
What do you want me to do? Sit around and work more? I've done everything I can in this frustrating goddamn week.
Whatever. I don't care.
Good. Then shut up.
Have you tried getting your client on Sean Hannity?
Oprah? Yeah. Breaking news. This guy nobody cares about is now on my show. That's how I should pitch it. Do you have somebody on? You want somebody to your show that no one else cares about? And he'll be like, I'm intrigued. I'm listening. Why does everybody else hate this person? Is it because you represent them? I'm like, yes, that's exactly why.
Tell him he's looking
get him on Lions of
at
Liberty. Blow him up.
I think I talked about what this guy does on Good Morning Fuckhead, right? Like described.
I don't know. You talked about it somewhere. I heard it
It's
somewhere.
insane. It might have been on an ELL proper. The guy invented the first drum sampler, then the first RFID chip industrial scale smart cow milker, then the first printer that prints on fucking bags of chips, dude. And now he's like one of the top Hollywood AR VR studios. That's pretty.
See, that's the one that I don't get is the printer on the bags of chips. That's been around for a long time. How old is this guy?
He's old. Their company's 30 years old now. So he's like 50 probably.
Because I can never remember bags of chips not being printed on.
Well, there was a time back when you were a little baby boy when they were hard to print on. And he developed one of the very first printers.
Like a plain bag?
I guess they come in probably paper or it wasn't as like the shininess of it or something like that. You couldn't print on it easily.
Maybe his story's bullshit and people fact check it like, wait a minute, this has been invented way before this guy did it.
I doubt it. Who's got the time? That's why nobody doubts my libertarian credentials. Nobody Googles back when I was a communist. No. Not me.
Were there a lot of Packers fans at the sports book? There's always Packers fans everywhere.
There were a lot of fucking dickhead Patriots fans at the sports book.
Well,
and I was really rooting for them to lose. And I was pissed off that they didn't lose.
Is there a fan base in
Rico
any
just
sport
frozen
that's
with
more
a tart
hated?
face? It's the perfect freeze frame for Rico.
Is there a fan base that's more hated than the Patriots? Like for a while, I thought it was Tom Brady that was hated, but then he left the Patriots. Like, wow, he's actually not that bad. Kind of like him, but I still hate the Patriots.
Yeah, you know what? I think there we go. Yeah, no, well, it's because they became so insufferable. Anytime you go from lovable losers to everybody sucks but us, and we win, and they won every sport in like a 5-year span. They won every major title. So, of course, people should fucking hate them. What is wrong with Rico?
A lot. Where should we start?
Jesus
Can't
fucking
operate
Christ,
a
Rico.
phone.
Figure it out.
It's a terrible haircut.
It's a terrible angle. Why don't you go inside your house where the Wi-Fi is? My God.
It's a nice day. I wish I could get outside, but we got this Mufasa call, and I got an interview after that.
It's a
Freaking
brutal
staring at
day.
the screen all day today.
Brutal day of libertarian podcasting.
Yep.
Rico's still walking inside. Well, any other good stories from you gentlemen? I doubt it.
I'm trying to think. Nothing has happened this past week, really.
Solid. Big Ben didn't retire.
No, unfortunately not. He actually played decently last week. Steelers played pretty well. They have a lot of injuries, though.
Yeah, Juju's out forever, right? Isn't he like
He's
done for the year?
dead, I'm pretty sure. He died. No, he's he already had season-ending shoulder surgery, so he's done for the year. But typical Juju fashion, he posts on Instagram, saying that thanking the fans for the support and saying he'll be back. He won't be back in Pittsburgh. There's not a chance they sign him again. If they do, they're retarded, which they might.
Why would they want to? Yeah, why would they even want to have him back at this point?
Because it's hard to find a guy that can run 5-yard outs. I mean, he's so good at it.
Harder to find people that can throw to guys running 5-yard outs. Rico is just what? It'll be a minute. Is he restarting his computer? Jesus Christ.
Did he name himself Phone Rico?
I hope he comes back in and he has a little bit of a lag on one of his phones, so he can do like a duet with himself. That would be amazing.
It's happened before.
Well, since this is boring and you have nothing else to add to the conversation, I guess we should move on. Anybody? Yes, input output problem is correct. Any requests for what I should take pictures of at the zoo tomorrow?
San Diego Zoo is awesome. I've been there with my wife. I assume they still have the awesome lions there. The best lion I've ever seen was at the San Diego Zoo. And the way they have it set up, you can get like right next to him. So you get a picture with the lion, like you're putting his arm around him. Yeah.
That would be good. I'll go for that. I'll do a little picture with the lion. I'll do one with the gorilla. Let's see. What else? The pandas, China repatriated, so we can't have them. They're gone.
What?
They took
the
them back.
panda back to China.
They took them back. After when America was like, you Wuhan flued us. They were like, oh, yeah, well, no panda for you then. And they literally took them back. They took them back like a week after the virus. I swear to God, look it up. Look it up. It's the truth.
They just sent them. So do they think all the pandas gone from the zoo? Do we have no pandas now?
I think all the pandas I Google it. I think all the pandas.
What if a panda is born? What if a panda is born in the United States? Aren't they U.S. property then?
Yeah, that's a good question because one panda was born in the United States. I bet they signed some sort of prenup, like a zoo prenup.
All your pandas for 3 generations. All your panda property of China, not property
Rico,
of the United
you're a lawyer.
States.
Can you advise us on a panda prenup if they're banging in the United States, but they are owned by China at the status of their panda baby?
Oh, well, that's a birthright citizenship case. Clear as can be.
That's what you'd think,
right?
But can you make an agreement ahead of time that the panda has to go back to China?
That's what Trump's going to run on. He's going to run on like against the vaccine mandates and bringing the pandas back to the United States.
Brings back the pandas. Make pandas in America great again.
What did I miss?
Terrible.
Good,
they took
Nothing.
the pandas away.
Nothing good. I'm gonna take pictures at the zoo.
Every Apple product.
Cody has nothing interesting to add in any way to any podcast.
I've totally my mind. The work I have to do for work now is so mind-numbingly dumb this time of the month. Getting the forecasts for projects and all this bullshit. I can't think. Like I stare at a computer screen the entire day. By the time I get home, my brain is it's fucking killed. I have nothing else to give.
You should be writing a novel in your head while you're doing that.
I should be.
Like the guy from A Beautiful Mind.
I listened to Joe Rogan just stomp on Sanjay Gupta, which was awesome.
Oh, I saw that. I saw some of the highlights of that. Love it. I'm surprised Sanjay had the nards to go on that show knowing he was just going to get his fucking ass rocked.
I think they're delusional, and they think that, they're used to no one ever challenging them, and they're just not aware that anyone's ever going to push back on them. Because they don't go on... They have one viewpoint, and it's approved by everyone that they talk to on that network. So they just think like my viewpoint is infallible. There's no challenging it. And then someone challenges them, and it's like their brain locks.
Yeah,
they must be desperate because I don't know why else he would do that for CNN. I mean, to go on Joe Rogan, you got to know you're 3 hours on a show, like. The truth is going to come out. Like it's in Rogan. I mean, I was impressed. Rogan studied up. He was ready. He was prepared. He had his studies ready to go. And especially Rico, you just brought this up in the email chain. I love how Rogan framed it, like talking about like how Sanjay Gupta feels so comfortable now because he's vaccinated, feels safe.
Oh yeah.
That's the way parents of children feel. Like I have no fear of my kid getting COVID and getting really sick because there's like no chance of it happening. Mm-hmm. And framing it that way I thought was really brilliant by Rogan.
He had no response to that. He stammered quite a bit, which is not a good look if you're on to set forth a viewpoint that you want people to subscribe to when you're like, And then he brought up that, so what are you saying? I should get a booster shot? I was like, well, that was a non sequitur. What he just said had nothing to do with the booster shot. But I guess that's
talking about leaky vaccines too. Rogue is like, so what do you think of this being a leaky vaccine? And Sanjay Gupta goes, like a leaky gut? Like he never heard of leaky vaccines. What the fuck?
This is the guy.
Is he even a medical doctor?
Probably not. It's probably
he's a neurosurgeon.
Oh, really? I figured he'd be like the California's doctor that has no degree in medical science, or Joe Biden's wife, Dr. Jill Biden, with her degree in whatever the fuck women's studies or whatever it is.
Yeah, she's like an educator. It's like, shut the fuck up, people.
Yeah, nobody should be called doctor.
All right. Anyway, very similarly to Barack Obama, which is kind of annoying. But
all right, we got to get these picks in because Mufasa starts in like 8 minutes. Well, I guess I'll go first since I went 0-7 last week. First time that's ever happened to me. I think I've gone 1-6 in the past, but
it's actually not true. You won your spite bet. You won your spite bet.
Oh, well, then I went 1-8 for $1. Great.
$2.
Good stuff. Oh, okay. Anyway, I will start off with the game tonight. Navy +11 at Memphis. Memphis was good, like, what was it, 2 years ago? And man, they suck shit now. I was looking at their record, getting blown out by everybody. Everybody horrible. Navy's actually put up decent showing. So +11 sounds good for $10. Wisconsin, even though Wisconsin sucks, Army sucks worse. I think they actually show up and beat the crap out of them. They're going to take like this one time to get in all their touchdowns. So $20 on Wisconsin -14, and also under 39. I think they really hold them to like 5 points. Army will get one safety and a field goal, and that's it. Rutgers
that's
-2.
A low freaking over under.
39. I know. Well, it's a low for a reason. Rutgers -2 against Northwestern. Rutgers can put up points. Northwestern is terrible. So let's see. BYU, who's ranked number 19, is getting 6 points on the road against Baylor. I don't know. I'll take the points at BYU, who's looked pretty good. Packers -5 against the Bears for 10. Kansas City -6.5 against the Washington football team for 20. And the Cowboys -3.5 over the Patriots. I am confused as to why that score or that spread is so close. Did Dak Prescott's ankle break again that I didn't see happening?
I don't know. Is that a rhetorical question?
I really don't. I can't figure out why that line would be so low. The Patriots are not
Belichick.
good.
Belichick knows the Cowboys in and out.
So the Patriots play random good games. I don't really like betting on them for that reason. All righty, I'll go. Bama -17. I think they'll probably be ready to play this week. They don't often lose, so I would expect them to have a tough week of practice. SUNY Buffalo -8 because Brian should get all the fun of gambling on SUNY New York schools.
It's a roller coaster.
I cannot wait.
Who are they playing, Rico?
Just wait till they're up 47 points.
Ohio University.
It's a good drinking university.
It's not bad.
Yeah, the number one drinking
their
university.
Halloween was a little bit overrated, I think. I went there in college one time for their Halloween, and everyone was like, "Yeah, Halloween." I'm like, "All right, well, it was just kind of normal." It's like
I went on a campus tour there, and the tour guide talked about one of the great things being how great the parties are. It's like the official school tour. I'm like, okay.
One of the things that I remember about that trip, because Nate, our friend, his sister went there, and he's like, come on. I'm like, I don't want to go. Why do I want to go? Well, he's like, I'll pay for everything. I'm like, all right, I'll go in that situation. But on the way back, he was driving, and we were listening to a Pittsburgh Steelers game, and classic legendary announcer, what was his name, Myron Cope or something like that?
Yeah,
I remember they came back.
The most annoying announcer in football history. Sounds like Howie Snowden announced.
He came back from halftime, and he's talking. He's like, "This lasagna's terrible. Get it away from me!" And he starts yelling at someone in front of him. I'm like, "What?" And there's the kickoff, and he's yelling about his lasagna. So that was
That's awesome.
Anyways, I digress. Buccaneers -7 tonight over the Eagles. Cardinals +3 over the Browns, who suck. Their defense sucks. Baker Mayfield sucks. Everything sucks. And the refs suck, too, if you guys watch that game.
Cincinnati's going to win the AFC North.
I wouldn't be surprised. Ravens -3 because they have a horseshoe up their ass this year. Just every break goes their way. It's fucking nauseating, and I can't stand it, but you might as well bet with the trend. And same thing with the Bengals, -3.5. They're a good team with a terrible coach, and so doing good this year could be bad long-term because their coach is really, really bad, and they'll probably give them a 10-year extension, so I guess good for that. Them's the bets.
What the Bengals do. The Bengals keep a terrible coach for a good 12, 15 years. It's their secret.
Yep.
All right, got Virginia Tech +5 against Pitt. All my bets are 15 this week. I think Pitt's a pretty good team, more so than any other year ever. I don't think I've ever said Pitt's a good team, but I think Virginia Tech. I think Pitt probably wins this game by maybe, I don't know, a field goal. So we'll see. I think Virginia Tech covers. Texas Tech. Kansas, Texas Tech -16.5. Fresno State, Wyoming. Fresno State -3. Tennessee, Ole Miss. Tennessee is back. That should be +2.5. What happened to that plus?
We know
This game is at Tennessee, right? Pretty sure it is. They're not back, but they're not as terrible as they used to be. I think they win this game. Purdue, Iowa. I do not think Purdue wins, but I think Purdue covers +11.5. Nebraska, Minnesota. Nebraska's sneaky, like a little bit above average team. They should have beat Michigan. I think they beat Minnesota, cover -4. And Packers, Bears. Packers -5.
There you have it. Well, wish me luck. And none to you.
Yeah. All right.
No luck for you.
Yeah.
Well,
try another
enjoy your next hour of more podcasting. Sounds terrible. But don't do it.
It will be. Will be. Especially
See
if
ya.
you're sitting here holding this microphone. All right. Goodbye.
Yeah.